Hi, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while, I know. I got really no excuse except for that I had super anxiety over the last few months about filming, and I don't even know why. I get that way sometimes, and I just had to get myself out of the funk. So I'm gonna try and vlog, weekly like I did before, and maybe even take on a daily vlog at some point. So the Vlogmas took a lot out of me, but I went back and looked at the comments and I said, oh wow, it's really nice that people really did appreciate it. So I did get one nasty comment, and it kind of made me apprehensive about filming again, and I won't even go into it, but I'm gonna get over it. I have gotten over it. So let me tell you what I've been up to. As you know, in February I had to go for an entire month to Australia for my job. And so I was staying at a resort hotel, and I say resort hotel and I laugh because it really was not what I was expecting. It was a motel, well, in the United States we call them motels, but for whatever reason it's called a resort in Australia. It was not very clean. I was really disappointed in that. I mean, the staff was very nice, so I feel terrible about saying anything negative about my experience. But the fact is that there was cobwebs in the room. There was just, the carpet was foul and just dirty, maybe stained. There was mold growing in the bathroom, and even when I pointed out, all they did was kind of give it a scrub and it just grew back. And they never scrubbed it again, so it's like I had to point out again that there was mold, growing in the bathroom. And then I opened the refrigerator. I had a full-size refrigerator in my room, and there was actually fungus growing in the, furry fungus growing in the freezer. And I just was, I don't even know. So it was pretty bad. So, after I cleaned my hotel room top to bottom myself, I went to the local Woolworths and bought all the cleaning solutions, rubber gloves, mask, everything, and I cleaned my hotel room. I pretty much just relied on the hotel cleaning staff to empty out my trash and give me fresh linens after the first week I was there. So the next 5 weeks I just cleaned it myself. It was an experience. I was definitely a little disgusted that they would think that this is 4-star or however many star they rated their hotel as on TripAdvisor. So anyway, while I was there, I got to see a lot in Australia, and the area that I was in was in Northern Territory. It was very rural. I was 3 hours south of Darwin in a town called Catherine, and I got to see so many things. I got to see bats, and I got to see kangaroos, and I got to see wallabies and wombats and crocodiles and cockatoos every single day at the hotel resort. There was a campground with cabins or caravans or what do you call them, RVs, that you could park and everything underneath these big huge canopy of trees, and this huge flock, I'm talking well over 100 birds, would come in every single day, and they would nest or rest there. And cockatoos are loud and they're very social, and so you would just hear them chattering with each other, and it was just kind of wonderful to watch. And I used to just sit out by the pool just looking at the trees and enjoying my surroundings. Film anything at the time because, again, I was there for work, and the little bit of relaxation time I had, I just coveted, and I didn't take for granted. I just totally zoned out, and then I would go to bed because I was working 10 to 12-hour days. Every single day. We got off maybe a day a week, and sometimes we didn't. One of the excursions we went on was to the Catherine Gorge, and I think I talked about that, and I showed a slideshow about, you know, what I experienced earlier when I got back. We got lost for 5 hours. Yes, for 5 hours. We had intended to go to the Broomway Lookout, and we ended up going to Pat's Lookout. And then we climbed down the gorge walls and found ourselves at the river with no recourse. We had no way back. And so by happenstance, a tour bus, or not a tour bus, a tour boat was coming up the river, and they saw us, and they were able to radio in a rescue boat to come get us. So the three, my two workmates and myself, you know, all civilian, we have no survival training or anything like that. And we were out there lost with no water. One of my workmates actually fainted and whacked his head against the rocks. I was actually paralyzed with fear and could not help him because he was about 2 meters above me on the cliffside, and I was just not going to climb up there. It was just not going to happen. Especially because the rocks were precarious, and it's a crocodile infested river beneath us, so I wasn't having it. So after we were rescued, we got to get teased by the rest of our workmates, and that was really not any fun. So while I was there, I also got to see a lot of Aboriginal art, and I was really inspired to try not to make a fake or anything like that. I don't, you know, pass anything I do off as, you know, authentic, but I did make this painting, and it's not finished, but I figured I would show you because God knows when I'll actually finish it. This took 2 hours to do, and it's a salamander, I think, or some kind of gecko. I haven't decided what it is, but I know it is a lizard, and I have a picture of this lizard. And I just wanted to do its outline and the dots because the Aboriginal people do their art in this kind of format. So that was what I did. And I'm going to continue going in different colors until this is all filled in. And then I'm going to do different patterns. Like I started a circle. It looks more like a pentagram than a circle, but I'm gonna, you know, try and do more patterns with the dots. It's gonna be really nice. At least I hope it is. So then my birthday came. So my birthday was in March, and my husband bought me the Switch, which I have been loving this this game machine. So I got Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and I got Mario Kart Deluxe, and I got Lego City, and I got Has Been Heroes, and my husband got a bunch of digital copies of games as well that he's downloaded because he bought himself one as well. And if you can see back there, that's my 3DS case, and then right next to that is the case for the Switch, and that's his case. His is in the Switch. And then there's a book right there that has the strategy guide for Breath of the Wild, which I haven't been using. And the reason why I haven't been using it is because the font that they printed it in is like 8-point, and you need a magnifying glass to see it. It's ridiculous. So after that was part of the gifts. Another part of the gift was that I got was a kit to make perler bead art. And this is Link, and this is Princess Zelda. And these are done with perler beads. I don't know if you know what perler bead art is. It is little beads that are melted together. Now this side is not melted all the way. I need to go back and do it, but this side is melted. And there's Link. Really cute. And this is the kit that I got. That's my iPad too. And so this plastic thing fits over the iPad, and then this tray comes up. So you put the pattern on your iPad, set the tray on top, put the perler beads in the tray here, and then just cover the pattern with your perler beads. It doesn't take a minute. It doesn't take long to do. It's wonderful. I love it. So here's it without the iPad in it. So it was super fun to do. I'm actually collecting more perler beads. Now the perler beads I got were in a big bucket, so I have to manually separate them, which I probably will never do again. Once I'm finished with this bucket of mixed colors, I will probably never buy another bucket of mixed colors. I'll just buy the individual color bags. So I have absolutely no progress to show you on my virus shawl. I'm pretty much done. Again, like I was telling you before, all I have to do is put the border on it and it's finished. I don't want to waste a little bit of yarn, so I'm just trying to just crochet, just like do a chain crochet all the way, a chain stitch all the way across the bottom of it until it runs out, because this yarn was so expensive, I don't want to have any leftover yarn. And then I ran out of the main color, and the main color has that red, is the red stripe. So I ran out of that, and I found the exact same brand but a different color in my stash of yarn. And so it's kind of like a dark gray with greens, and then it goes into yellows and a peach. It doesn't match at all, but this is a scrappy looking scarf, and I thought it's not going to matter. So here's the red, and you see it's transitioning into the green. I think it looks fine. I'm really looking forward to finishing up that yarn. Unfortunately, that is all I have of that type of yarn. I have no more of it, and I still have half a ball of, I have this, and then I have one other whole sock yarn ball. So I'm gonna have to buy more yarn. Actually, I did find remnants of the same brand, again, different colorway, and it's kind of like blue and red as well. So I'm gonna put that on there, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to add that other ball of sock yarn. So I'll have to find another project for that other ball of sock yarn. But I have, in this scarf so far, I have 3 balls of sock yarn. So it's about 5 feet long. I was hoping I could get it to at least 6, maybe 7 feet long, because I like a long scarf. I like to wrap it multiple times around my neck. Being that I live in Alaska, it's definitely advisable to have something like that. Because sometimes what I do is I'll wrap around twice around my neck, and then I'll tuck it on over one breast and over the other breast, and then I'll put my jacket on and zip it up. And that just keeps me super, super warm. Other times I'll take I'll put it over my head, and then I'll cover my ears, and then I can stuff, you know, about that much of the scarf into my jacket, and then I can be warm, toasty. So being warm in Alaska, it ain't no joke. It's cold here. What else have I got to show you? That's it. Oh, here's another colorway of that yarn. I have no idea the name of this yarn. I looked everywhere in my stash for a ball band, but I never did find it. But it's the same. I remember buying the yarn. It's the same brand. So whatever, it's gonna look great, I promise. And then that is all I have got to show you today. That is all I've got to show you today. I have some projects that you can't see. Back there is a palette of flowers sitting on top of my kitchen or my dining room table. I'm gonna be planting the hanging baskets tomorrow, hopefully, if the weather holds, and I can talk to you about my gardening experience. I tried to winter over roses in the garage, and then I brought them up and put them on the balcony probably too soon, and they died. I think they're dead. And then I did the same thing with some daylilies. But the next vlog will be probably about gardening. So thanks for listening. I know it's been about 15 minutes. This is probably one of the longest videos I've put out, but it makes me happy to share, and I love seeing what's going on in your lives. Please let me know what your vlogging channel is in the comments below, and have a great day. Take care. Bye.